Hey guys, what is up? Turkey Steak here. We're back at it again with part 3 to our Nioh 2 boss ranking. The final part here. I'm super excited to do this, as like I said, these are my favorite bosses in the game. And I really like a lot of these bosses. But yeah, I'm just super excited. I think this has been kind of a fun journey that we've been on, especially with doing something new like this. I'm gonna be honest, I was a bit nervous at first with doing this because, again, I'm gonna be honest, probably the most amount of effort and like work I've put into editing one of my videos before. Just with like the amount of editing required for the videos that I normally post, like the Rainbow Six Siege videos, I just kind of cut everything and put it together and maybe cut in some clips to make it look like they transition very nicely. I mean, I'll do something like that with Dark Souls. I mean, I cut it and try to edit it to where it's somewhat entertaining, at least for you guys. And then Bloodborne, when we did that back in the day, I had like the death counter and stuff, and I had to add that in there. But other than that, I mean, like, this is the most amount of editing that I've actually done. And like, even then, I even made thumbnails for these rather than just like zooming in on something from the game. So, I just really ended up having a lot of fun making these, and I actually really wanted to keep getting back to editing. But I'm super excited to get these out to you guys. But yeah, thank you all for any of the support that we saw in the first two parts. And yeah, I hope you guys do enjoy this part here, because I'm super excited. But let's just get right into it.
ほう、救いの者をよこすとは味なこと。姉川で直高を破ったのはお主か。ならば心置きなく夜叉となろう。
Okay, so starting off part 3 at the number 8 spot, we have Azai Nagamasa, Birdman himself. He's a pretty cool boss. I actually really like this boss fight. He's not the hardest. He's probably the easiest, or one of the easiest on this list, or on this part. But he's fun. He's fun. He's fast. He has good range. He has good range with some of his attacks, and I like how he uses his wing as a shield. That's pretty neat. He kind of has like a little counter thing where if like you smack his shield, he'll do something like bat it away and try to do a strike, but he's pretty punishable. A lot of his moves are pretty punishable, I would say, and his offense is pretty alright. But like I said, he's pretty fast, and you just kind of got to be careful. In his second phase, he kind of goes up into the air a little bit, and he'll do like kind of a kind of weird like homing attack thing that's kind of used just more to, I think, get your kind of distract you more than anything. But then he'll do a burst counter, and that's kind of his main attack of that thing, and that's just kind of easy to burst counter. That's kind of what you want to do, is just burst counter that, get him out of there, it'll stun him, and you can get off a nice grapple onto him. So nothing too crazy. He did kill me like I think 1 or 2 times. Maybe more, but still, he's a pretty fun boss. I just like how he looks. I like the wings that he has, or I guess the wing, and then I guess sometimes it's the wings. But yeah, he's pretty fun. And if you don't burst counter him, while he's in his when he's in the Dark Realm with both his wings, where he's trying to fly around everywhere, if you don't burst counter him there, it'll be pretty difficult, I think, and that's when the boss fight can be kind of difficult. But if you just get that burst counter down, which is not super hard to get that down, I think you'll be fine. But Azai Nagamasa coming in at number 8.
you get the challenge page, Tyler?
Titties. Okay, coming in at number 7, we have the like bioengineered organism of fetishes, Kasha. So she's out here. She's a cat lady, you know. Okay, there's one thing for some people. Second, she's got a whip. I mean, that's another thing for other people. And I mean, I don't know. She's got something. I don't know. They're pretty big, I guess. People that might be into those too, I don't know. But Kasha's whack. In all seriousness, though, geez, I actually like this boss. She's fast, she's fun. Pretty much what you got to do is that, obviously, she's got fire, which is unfortunate because I was a fire build. But she has a decent amount of health, not a ton, but not like not a small amount. But actually, I really like her as a boss. One of her weak points is that like you can just kind of smack her a little bit in her wheels. She sends out a little wheel like that when she's in her yokai realm, and her flames kind of turn blue, as you're seeing right now. Keeps up the pressure and is kind of spooky. Does a little bit more damage, I think. But she's fast. She does quite a bit of damage. And I actually kind of like her. But like, as you can see, there's little crystals on her wheels, which pretty much signify that they're weak points. So one of the things is that if you can smack her wheel, it kind of does a little bit. I think it does like a burst of like a couple hundred damage or something like that. Nothing too crazy, but it does a decent amount, and I think it helps. There's a moment where you fight her in one of the later missions of the game again, and that one went actually really well, and I think that is probably the strategy that you want to keep with her. What I did, I think, was I kind of stayed just on her at all times, just run at her, stay aggressive, stay in between her legs, just stay in there and beat the hell out of her, make it so she can't walk again. I mean, she's using kind of like a weird little wheelchair, but her legs seem to be in use. Yeah, just keep on her, and I think if you stay aggressive and just make sure that you're in the dominant position, I think you're going to be doing pretty alright. But I don't know, there's something else about her that I just can't quite pin, but I don't know. There's something about the design of her boss that just, of the boss that just really encapsulates my attention, and I don't know what it is. Coming in at the number 6 spot, we have Megara Naotaka, I think. I really like this guy. For a while, he was my favorite boss of the game. I really like this guy. He's about halfway. I think he's right before halfway is what I would say, like, through the game. But he's just a fun boss. He's probably, for me, I know that he's not necessarily fundamentally the hardest, but I think my first playthrough, I died to him the most out of any other boss. I don't necessarily know why, because there was a side mission that I did with him, and I pretty much beat him pretty easily. But he's difficult. I mean, he's only has one arm, so I mean that's like, it should be easy, right? But like, he has a lot of sweeping attacks that really kind of cover the whole screen. Obviously, dodging on the side where his arm is not is the best bet. but he just does quite a bit of damage. Yeah, he does quite a bit of damage. He is fast, but he has kind of like a pretty easy to understand moveset, I think, after a little while. I think once you kind of get his moveset down, you get the boss down, and this is one of the bosses that I feel like I've mastered pretty well. I think if they were to just if they were to throw him at me again, I feel like I would get him. I don't know, I just really like him. He has a grab that comes out pretty fast and it covers quite a large range, which is pretty spooky because it can hurt you a lot, and he can hurt you a lot just in general. But I don't know, I just really like him. I like his design. It's pretty simple but cool. And he's difficult. I think he's a pretty relatively difficult boss. Like I said, I struggled with him the most out of this game. I don't know how many deaths I had against him, but I think it was a lot. It was a lot. But I still really enjoyed the fight. Yeah, I think just kind of the arena and the area kind of leading to this area in the game is a fun area to go through. Ice/snow is always pretty cool. And this area and boss is no exception. But yeah, I think he's just pretty simple, but he just has something about him that just makes him really cool, I think. So, and that's why he's all the way up at number 6. Okay, I know this is gonna shock some people that actually played this game, but coming in at number 5, we have Shibata Katsui. Dude, okay, I really love this boss. Some people are gonna think I'm like a sadist or something for this, but I love this boss so much. A lot of people hate him, and a lot of people he was the wall. Like, everywhere I look online, a lot of people died to this man and fought him for like at least an hour, and I don't know, I just had so much fun with this fight. It took me like 4 or 5 attempts. I definitely say he's fundamentally, I think he's one of the harder bosses in the game. But I had so much fun fighting this guy. So I beat him with hatchets, which are the weapons that he uses. And okay, so a lot of people have a problem with his grab. I think I got hit by his grab like maybe twice in my 4 or 5 attempts. I don't know if they nerfed it, because okay, so I saw that there was a patch for the game, like a couple patches after launch, and I know there was like some missions that they fixed. Jeez, some submissions that they fixed that were a little bit too hard, I guess, and they kind of nerfed them. I don't know if this guy got nerfed, but I was seeing comments about him like from like 2 days ago that were saying the same exact thing still. So I don't know. I beat this guy 2 or 3 days ago, I think. I beat him 4 days ago, actually. But I had so much fun. Like, I got hit by the grab right there, and it does a lot of damage. It does do a lot of damage. But really what I noticed is that, like, you're gonna get caught on fire a lot. Like a lot. What I noticed, also this boss kind of sucked for me because I used a fire build. But one of the things I noticed is that you're gonna get caught on fire a lot. What I noticed is that don't dodge to get the fire off of you, because that's what you gotta do. You gotta roll 3 or 4 times and the fire goes away. That is not what you want to do in this fight. Whenever I did that, I got punished insanely hard. This guy is very aggressive. He's gonna try to attack you. What I did is I dodged when he attacked me, and since I got caught on fire pretty much like after an attack, he's gonna come attack me, and I'm gonna be able to dodge and get out of the way and get that fire off naturally, rather than trying to do it myself and him catching me in a roll and grabbing me and ending my life, or throwing a hatchet down and following it up with a grab. But other than that, like, he's difficult. I know it's kind of with like his thing where he spins and kind of throws the hatchet at you. You have to kind of get in. I would say get in close, like wait for him, and then as soon as he starts to throw the hatchet, dash in, get some attacks off, and you can punish him pretty hard. But pretty much whenever he has a charge, you're able to just dodge to the side and follow him pretty much. You'll probably get caught on fire because some of his charges, especially in the yokai realm or the dark realm, a lot of his charges are going to leave a trail of fire behind him. Just charge after him, and then just smack him in the back, because you do more damage in this game for smacking people in the back. So getting him in the back is definitely good. But I don't know, I love the boss. I had so much fun while fighting him. I don't know, I like challenging bosses. Obviously, I don't really like unfair bosses. I didn't think that this guy was that unfair. Dodging after him and just dodging away from him and getting after him, I had a lot of fun with this boss because he's super aggressive and big. I just had a lot of fun with it. It's fun dodging all of attacks. They kind of go on for a while sometimes, but I don't know, I had fun with it. So, but which I think a lot of people are going to be surprised if they actually played this game that are watching this. But yeah, that's why Shibata Katsui is at number 5. Okay, so coming in at number 4, we have Kashin Koji. This guy is one of the final bosses of the game, and I really like him. He's kind of like the main antagonist, I guess you could say. You kind of run into him occasionally throughout the story, and he kind of manipulates and controls some of the people that you fight throughout. And this boss is just fun. It's kind of difficult. This boss fight is very, very hectic. That I think is where kind of the fun in it lies. He is very reminiscent of Kelly from the first game. He is kind of more of like a sorcerer / spellcaster dude, and not super hard, but he's definitely harder than Kelly. Kelly was really easy, and this guy is actually a bit of a challenge at some places. This guy, though, is just like, he could be a real pain, specifically in his second phase. His second phase is insane. Pretty much what he'll do in his second phase is he'll spawn a bunch of clones, and his clones do pretty much every single attack that he can normally do. And so there's like 6 of them, and they're just all around, and then you have to deal with them. They don't have much health. You can pretty much 1 or 2 shot them and get rid of them, but it gets hectic, and I think that's how I died my second time. I think I only did die twice, but he's just crazy. And then of course, when you think you're done, the health bar kind of chills on the bottom of the screen. At first I honestly thought it was kind of a glitch, and then he stood back up. So this one kind of has 3 phases, and in that, the clones aren't just like spawning at certain times, they're just kind of there throughout, kinda. And just kind of fighting whenever he wants. And that phase is pretty crazy, it's just he doesn't have as much health. I think, if I am correct, I'm pretty sure this is the only fight that I really had to use other healing items. Yeah, I mean, this is really the only fight where I had to use other healing items. I was spooked. I had to heal a lot. There's a lot of mistakes that were made. It was whack. I just like this fight just because of how hectic it is. It's just a hectic fight in all honesty. Okay, so coming in at number 3 we have Goldilocks, Shuten Doji. So, he's got his gourd, and, he's, trying to drink his porridge, but, it's too hot, so he keeps, like, kind of breathing fire. And he gets upset, so you kind of gotta calm him down a little bit and say, hey man, it's just porridge. And he's like, okay, you're right, and then he tries to drink it again, and he gets upset. So pretty much you just rinse and repeat that until you get him. But yeah, in all honesty though, I actually really like this fight. It's really cool and fun, and I don't know, I really like it. His hair looks really cool. It looks really nice in the boss fight, and he kind of like just acts drunk, which is kind of just fun. It's kind of a fun fight. His combos look like he's drunken, kind of. Mainly for me, I kind of got his hair swiped quite a bit. But this is one of the bosses that I actually beat first try. But I really like him a lot. Just design-wise, I like his design. He's fast and applies pressure from range with his fire. And I don't know, he's just a ton of fun to fight. Like I said, another boss. There's a lot of bosses in this game with fire. So unfortunately, my fire build didn't really work except for like a couple of bosses. But I don't know. I really enjoyed him. He's just a fun fight, and he's just a lot of fun to fight. Not too hard, but not too easy. I think if you mess up, he will punish you, and you will die. You have to be careful. And I mean, obviously, that's the same with every boss, but he's not too bad. I'd say he's pretty reactionary. He has that like big fire attack, which, as you can see, I blocked right there for 700 damage, which is quite a bit. Just kind of dodging through his attacks works pretty well. Dodging around and smacking him in the back. Like this big long combo, he kind of falls down at the end. You can get a blow in, which I didn't right there, but that's what you can do with that combo. So if he starts doing that combo, just kind of block, be wary when he falls over. That is an attack as well. He slams his club down. And yeah, I think it's just a fun fight. And it's a fun fight that looks pretty cool. So, and I don't know, it's just, I think it's his hair. In all honesty, his hair just looks really good. his hair just looks really good. But, and obviously he has a cool moveset. So that's what kind of puts him, I think, at the number 3 spot. Okay, so coming in as our runner-up, we have Otakimaru, which is the game's final boss. Now this fight takes place in, like, inside of you as you get possessed by the dude with the hat. This is kind of his, like, true form. Ignore the, the extra random person I had in here. In the previous level, there's a trophy that you get for summoning these, like, crappy NPC characters to help you out. So I think I might as well start doing this a little bit, and I honestly was thinking it would die. So there's a portion, this one took me 2 attempts, but there's a portion of my first attempt where I just kind of let that guy die. But Tokuchiro actually helps you out here, which is a lot of fun. With his monkey, it kind of comes in and does a decent amount of damage. Mostly just kind of as like a distraction. It does an alright job. It's nothing too crazy. But the thing is with this fight, it switches between the 3 forms. I don't know for sure. I think I saw somewhere else that it didn't start with this one, the Phantom one. But so it might start with whichever one that you are currently. I do not know. That is complete like speculation. But I think I saw somewhere else that theirs did not start with this. But each form that he kind of goes into, there's like a couple different arenas that you can be in. So like he goes from like Feral to Phantom to Brute, and he kind of goes through those, and those are like his first stage, and it's a lot of fun. The arena looks cool. He looks pretty cool. And then finally at the end he shows kind of, I guess, his true form that's a little bit different than everything else. And this form, that form's pretty crazy. It's a pretty crazy form. But I don't know, this boss fight's a ton of fun. It looks really cool. It looks crazy. And it's actually kind of difficult too. I think it's pretty difficult. Personally, I beat this one on my 2nd attempt, so it's not that bad. But looking at it and kind of watching it, it's one of those boss fights that I'm like, how did I do it? In all honesty, because there's a lot of difficulty. He hits pretty hard. There's a lot of attacks. He's fast, strong, all that fun stuff. But there was one attack that I died to in the first attempt that hit pretty hard. But he has a bunch of AoEs that hit hard, and those are just some things that you just have to kind of watch out for. But just the atmosphere in the arena, the fight that keeps changing as you go through, his unique attacks that he has, and just kind of by how neat and cool I think he looks. So there's a lot going into this one, but this is pretty much why he is my 2nd favorite fight of the game. It's a really weird point right now. So, at least we were able to get Otakimaru done, I guess. So, there's going to be one more part. And it's literally just going to be my number 1. I do want to talk about him. Or her. Or it. I do want to talk about them. So... It's a little awkward that we're having to end everything like this, or end this part like this. I was really hoping that we'd be able to get 3 parts in, but I'm actually pretty happy with what we have right now, and I don't want to get rid of it, which is why I've spent like hour probably editing this part, maybe more, hour and a half, 2 hours, 2.5 maybe. So, and I really like what I have so far. So I don't really want to get rid of that. So, really awkward, but I guess I'll see you guys for our number 1 in a short, probably like 4-minute, 5-minute video maybe. But, hope you guys did enjoy, but take care, bye-bye.